Think of those who went out to the battlefields of all wars, but did not return.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning.
In our youth, we trod upon ground which most others never walked. We confronted fears unknown to our friends back home. We dug deep to shape our character, and we forged the right to stand shoulder to shoulder with our original Anzacs. I'm proud to have served our nation. I'm proud to be who I am, a Vietnam veteran, lest we forget.
The dawn service is a solemn and respectful occasion, and the usual courtesies are expected. During the service, you will be asked at times to stand. If you're unable to do so, please remain seated.
On the day of the Gallipoli landings, Australians briefly held a part of a plateau with a notable feature, a single pine tree. The place became known as Lone Pine, named after the popular song, The Trail of the Lonesome Pine. The tree was destroyed during the campaign. Richard Longstaff and his older brother William, from the coastal town of Kiama in New South Wales, were both at the landing. August offensive, the last-ditch effort to break out of the Anzac beachhead. Version to draw Turkish reinforcements from the main Anzac assault.
Dozens of those men never had a disc or paybook taken from them, but had dirt.
The Graves Registration Unit returned to Gallipoli at the end of the war. The landscape itself had changed. Shrubs had grown back, covering some graves. Group, including Australians and New Zealanders, Turks, Greeks, Russians and Britons. Petrol tins on donkeys. In his design, architect Sir John Burnett addressed his concerns about the potential impact of erosion by consolidating the burials that were at risk into larger permanent cemeteries.
3 months later, he was a private serving with No. 3 Australian General Hospital on Lemnos Island, about 80 kilometres from here. Many had never had a wash for 6 weeks, and at this time, diarrhoea and dysentery were raging.
His comrades as Seppi was killed in action on 25 April. After they had rested, Seppi said, "Are you ready?"
And spiritual guidance to members of the Australian Imperial Force.
Began on the ship, where clergymen were responsible for burials at sea, holding religious services and church parades. By the time the war ended, more than 400 clergymen from different denominations served with the AIF. Instead, he worked aboard a hospital ship, assisting medical teams to tend casualties from the peninsula. He wrote in his diary, "I formed a dressing station in the 'tween decks and also went and dressed the wounded on one part of the deck, just where they lay."
Commemorated on Lone Pine Memorial.
Jack Antonio, 6th Battalion, killed in action.
Edward Henty, 8th Light Horse Regiment, killed in action at the neck.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old.